It's day 2 of the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic, our Saturday primetime affair between Alabama and Oregon State. Alongside the legend, Pat Casey, I'm Chris Mykoski. Thanks for joining us on D1Baseball.com. Well, Coach, yesterday, 2 very different ways that these teams won. The Beavers in a pitcher's duel, and the Crimson Tide, after getting punched in the mouth in midweek against Southern Miss, came back up throwing haymakers on offense.
Yeah, you got it right, Chris. The pitching at Oregon State was outstanding. Not only Dax to start the game, but then Noah Scott came in. Robles, they cleaned it up. Outstanding. They had to win with pitching yesterday. Alabama got off with some really good offense, and they needed that. Coach Vaughn was saying, we got to get on the board early. We got some big injuries.
Matchup of 1-0 teams to cap our second night of the Classic. Starting 9 for Alabama, Bryce Fowler will lead things off. The center fielder had a solo home run in the 3rd yesterday as Alabama knocked off Iowa. Then it's Justin LeBron who delivered a grand slam in the 9th inning last night. Brady Neal leads Alabama with a .370 batting average. He is the catcher, batting 3rd. Luke Vaughn is the first baseman. He had a 3-run homer in the 1st inning yesterday. Then it's DH John Lem, 3rd baseman Jason Torres. The right fielder is Peyton Steele. Left fielder batting 8th is Eric Hines, and then the 2nd baseman Brennan Holt for Rob Bond's Alabama Crimson Tide. Oregon State will have Ethan Kleinschmidt on the bump today. Last Saturday suffered a loss versus Southern Miss. He struck out 10 in 5 1/3. And Coach, he had a better tempo, better slider feel than he had in week 1 against Arizona, but did give up 5 runs to Southern Miss. We'll get Coach Casey's thoughts on Ethan in just a minute after we set the defense for the Beavers. In the outfield, left to right, Adam Haight, Nyan Hayes, and Easton Talt. In the infield, left to right, Paul Vasquez, Cooper Vance, A.J. Singer, and Jacob Craig. Jacob Calloway, the battery mate for Kleinschmidt. But Coach, Ethan Kleinschmidt, again, a 6'4 lefty, heavy fastball. What has he done to separate himself and cement himself as a Saturday starter for these Beavers?
Well, you know, the velo's jumped, the maturity. Last year, halfway through the year, the breaking ball started to get right where Coach Dorman wanted it. I mean, this guy's got real stuff, going to be a real good draft pick. You know, you're coming in behind Dax Whitney. People kind of devalue that a little bit. This guy's stuff is really, really good. Comes from a real small school, Mount Angel, Oregon, Kennedy High School. You're going to see real good stuff. Doesn't walk very many people. I think he's got about 19 strikeouts in 10 innings, got 3 walks. He's going to be around the plate.
You saw the umpires on duty tonight. Eddie Newsome will call balls and strikes. First pitch is hit into left by Fowler. Fowler heading for second. Throw coming in, heading for slide. Leadoff double for the Alabama center fielder.
Well, Oregon State's in good shape because that's the way Houston started yesterday.
This is true. McLean Helton had a leadoff double for the Cougars yesterday. He did come around to score the game's first run, put the Cougars up 1-0. Oregon State got their 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. We will take a look at that first play on official review. Bang, bang on the tag on Fowler.
Long way away, but I was always really good umpire when I was in the dugout. I think I had them all right.
You might have a better angle from where you're sitting these days, Coach, but yeah, quite a bit further away than you used to be. We'll get some looks at it as well, as right now Fowler standing confidently there at second base.
Yeah, lifetime he looked like he was safe. Now we're going to get to slow it down and see what happens.
From our center field camera, tough to see there as this will probably be our best look coming from high home. I think he got his right hand in there, yep. Fowler beating the tag by milliseconds. And our umpires will emerge from the tunnel just in front of the first base dugout, where Eddie Newsom will tell us that it is confirmed and Fowler is safe. Joseph Smith returning to his spot on the third base side. Mike Morris is up the middle. He made the initial call, and Seth Buxminster is on the first base side today. Now here's the headliner, Justin LeBron. Number 2 ranked prospect in the 2026 draft class among collegiate players, according to D1 Baseball. Last night, Coach, just his performance alone was worth the price of admission.
Yeah, he's special. I mean, everybody needs one, right? I mean, this guy can really, really tool out. Arm plays, obviously got power. Just a terrific player. Like I said, everybody'd love to have a player of this ability.
Tapping that one foul. LeBron in that grand slam, it was 106 off the bat. Just to the left and below the peak porch in left center. His team leading 6th home run. And he also has a team leading 14 runs batted in.
Not a very aggressive lead at second base. I would think that they would be really apt to try to score early with the pitching that Oregon State has. But obviously Singer does a good job of holding runners, playing up the middle. Kleinschmidt needs to throw one down here at the back foot. Good pitch.
2-2 after that just misses inside. Top of the zone. It's a little too close to LeBron. Right back through the middle. Singer is there off one hop, and he'll retire LeBron at first. Singer was shifted over behind the bag, paying close attention to Fowler, and able to snag that.
Yeah, nice scouting report there. Played him right where he was. Nice job by, I'm not certain at second base. I just talked about that, not having a good lead. You know, the rule is at your behind you, you advance to third. I'm not sure if he read that as line drive, which he probably did, and didn't want to get doubled off, which would be a good decision.
Now Brady Neal batting from the left side. Showing bunt. He has a team leading 370 batting average, along with 8 runs batted in. A 12-2 win last night. Included a 2-for-4 outing from Neal. A couple of walks. That's fouled off over towards the bullpen bar. I loved what Coach Vaughn said about Neal, in that he's not playing to get drafted. He's not playing to start every day. He's just out there having fun with the boys.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the guy you want. Draft's going to take care of itself.
That's off of Galloway's glove, back to the fence, allowing Fowler to advance on a pass ball.
You know, IMG Academy, LSU, he's been seeing a ton. So, you know, what a great perspective on how you should play the game. Just go out and play and let the draft take care of itself. Scouts rarely get fooled by how bad you want to be drafted.
The approach has worked well. He's hitting for average, he's hitting for power, doing a lot of things right. 3-1. Watch that one sail past.
Oregon State's got the infield back. Chris, you know, right here what you're trying to do is just put the ball in play. Get on the board, get an early lead, take the pressure off your club.
3-2, missing away. Runners on the corners for the Tide. And Luke Vaughn will step to the plate, fresh off a 3-run homer yesterday in the first inning. Has the chance to do it again. The homer yesterday was his 4th of the season, upped his RBI total to 12. Swinging a hot bat, but showing bunt on the first pitch.
Don't see that in the SEC very often. Your 4-hole guy up first to third and showing bunt. These guys must be watching too much West Coast baseball back there. They don't have enough to do.
You have to love the Luke Vaughn story, Coach. Somebody who missed all of last season, nearly walked away from the game. And now he's coming through in one of the premier early season tournaments in college baseball.
Well, I'll tell you, that is the one thing that I think we don't get to talk about enough is the stories around these young men and how they got where they're at, some of the trials and some of the struggles they went through. Wow, nice play. It's amazing what you find out about young men. And, you know, if you really want to impact a player, you really got to get to know him. You know, and I think sometimes we don't get to know the player, so we don't know what he really needs. And that's vital, especially for young people.
1-0. Well, this is only day 2 on this job. But this is where you can tell those stories, Coach. So I'd say find yourself a booth and you can tell those stories. That'll be great. We'd love to hear them. 1-1.
Am I getting paid by the hour? Because the whole game's a story. You know, they paint those white lines there for a reason. And I always tell guys, because everybody wants to say the game's changed. I said the game's never changed. Things within the games have changed. Analytics, how we coach it, how we teach it, but the game itself's never changed. If you don't lose sight of that, you do a better job of getting them from A to B.
Well, I broadcast a little bit of everything, but baseball is by far my favorite because of the time that we have to tell those stories. It's a talking sport. A lot of time between pitches to tell those tales.
Well, it is, and some of them are, you know, the memories of the journey and the struggle, believe it or not, are as valuable as the wins, and I mean that sincerely. How you get young men to get off the mat, do things that they never thought they could do.
Clipped him.
I always say, Chris, that there's 2 pieces. You coach the kid, you teach the game. And you can go to a lot of places, see people teaching the game properly, how you get the fundamentals of the game. But you teach the game, you coach the player. Very, very different and very, very important, and they're both vital to success.
Well, Ethan Kleinschmidt has loaded the bases for Oregon State on the mound, and this early and knowing what Alabama was capable of coming in to tonight, this is an intimidating situation for a lot of people, but Kleinschmidt, the type of person who can bear down and get out of a jam.
Yeah, and Oregon State's a tremendous defensive club. You know, you get a ground ball here, you're 1 pitch away. It's always the favorite saying, right? Left on left, he can punch him out. It's just, I think he's a little nervous. I think that's showing a little bit here. He'll settle down. He'll get in there.
First pitch to Lem with the bases juiced. Strike on the inside part of the plate. Lem has Alabama's 2nd best batting average at .333.
He certainly tried to crowd him.
one of Alabama's hottest hitters entering the Frisco Classic. Rolls it to second. Singer will retire Vaughn at first base, but the Tide get on the scoreboard. 1-0 as Bryce Fowler touches the plate.
You know, as a coach, I never could get myself to feel good about that. Bases loaded, one out. I got somebody that's hot, and he bounces one in the infield. Now, on the flip side of that, they're on the board. Singer made a nice play to come and get the runner at second base, keep that guy out of scoring position. So, you know, if he can get out here with one run, I think he's going to see that as a win.
Jason Torres with runners on the corners, 2 out. Bama drawing first blood. Same as we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and that pin for Oregon State is loaded. There's arms down there. You know, he's getting into pretty good pitch count here for the first inning, but they got plenty of arms. They got to get on the board. You know, yesterday they struggled offensively.
1-0. Lifted into the parking lot. Houston able to score its leadoff hitter as McLean Helton doubled, came around. Cougars went up 1-0, and today it's Alabama with Bryce Fowler doubling to start the game.
You know, I had the pleasure running into Ethan's father, Kleinschmidt's father, before the game. He talked about him going to camps when he was a kid and his dream of playing college baseball at Oregon State. So, great conversation.
Missing high.
Kleinschmidt reminds me of one of the great ones at Oregon State, now pitching for the Chicago Cubs, Matt Boyd.
(2-1). I imagine when you tell his family about that comp, they lit up a bit.
Yeah. You know, like I said, the stories we could go on and on and on, but then a little kid came up while I was talking to him, and his dad said he's going to be an Oregon State Beaver. So I guess the recruiting class has already started.
Here's the 3-1. Missing inside. Bases loaded again for Alabama. Peyton Steele will have a chance to add to his weekend that included an RBI single yesterday. Oregon State will have a mound visit first as Rich Dorman will come out and talk to Ethan Kleinschmidt. And far too early for their taste. Some Beavers are sprinting out towards the left field bullpen.
Yeah, they like I said, they won't let him get in too much trouble. I mean, early in the year, I don't know where he's at. He's in the mid-20s with pitch count. Certainly when you get to 30, you start getting concerned a little bit in this early, but he's a strong kid. I just think he's got a little bit of anxiety going a little bit right now, and that's not surprising. Big tournament, lots of fans here for everybody. Good seeing the Hawkeyes and the Cougars and the Crimson Tide roll in here. I haven't seen Saban yet, but I heard he's coming. So, and of course, Beaver Nation travels very, very well. So excited to see all those people.
Wish a few more of those Beaver fans would have said, "Hey, let's skip Surprise this year and go to Frisco instead."
So they spent all their money in Surprise.
Here's Steele. We had a few that obviously were busy that weekend to open the season. Said, hey, that doesn't mean I'm not going to go on a road trip. We're going to go to Round Rock. We're going to go to Frisco.
So you can't pick your favorite. I know you're from here, so it's got to be Frisco.
This is my home ballpark. Rip to left. Haight goes back and gets it a few feet in front of the track. Alabama gets one in the first as Bryce Fowler doubles and is knocked around. Tied 1-0 after a half inning. Frisco Classic, night number 2 at Riders Field in Frisco, Texas. Here's the starting lineup for Oregon State, presented by Texas Health Hospital Frisco. Jacob Galloway, the catcher, leads off, a team-leading 400 batting average. Easton Talt is a tied for the Beaver team lead with 6 RBI. He plays right field. Cooper Vance, the shortstop. Then Bryce Hubbard, the DH. AJ Singer plays second for the Beavers. He's followed by Adam Haight, the left fielder, and Jacob Craig at first. Both Haight and Craig producing RBI yesterday for Oregon State. Paul Vasquez at third, and Nyan Hayes, the center fielder for the Beavers. They face Zane Adams, 2-0 on the year for the Crimson Tide. A sinker, slider, repetition with elite command, and Coach, last week he showed to be one of the hottest arms in the SEC with what he did against Rhode Island.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he hasn't walked a guy this year, and that's impressive to me. And when you talk about elite command, you can ask any hitter you want. Do you want straight velo at 95, or that you can count on getting the ball in the middle of the plate, or you want a guy that's going to run the ball both ways? Something goes downhill, you get a little two-seam, and able to hold vert pretty good. He'd tell you that he'll go ahead and take 95 in the middle of the plate. So it'll be interesting here.
Quick look at the defense for Alabama. It's Hines, Fowler, Steele in the outfield. Torres, LeBron, Holtz, and Vaughn in the infield, while Neal is Adams' battery mates. Here's Galloway. I think we have an issue with pitch comm between Zane Adams and Brady Neal. Neal unable to hear what he needs to. Hopefully a very quick fix.
Yeah, they used to, in the old days, they used to put a finger down there.
They've all forgotten how to do that.
Yeah, 1, 2, or 3, and last one was location. Now you gotta have a two-way radio to get communications across. I guess it's the social media piece that we live in, right? What would be any different? It does speed the game up, which I like. It keeps people from stealing signs, which stays out of that danger of somebody going down when you're trying to pick signs.
You think there's anybody trying to hack into those pitch comm systems, though, to steal signs? There's got to be somebody.
Somebody. We got a lot of engineers out there, so I don't know.
First pitch missing. High to Galloway. And apparently the problem has not been fully figured out, as Neal immediately pops up and heads to the dugout. Rob Vaughn also quickly talking to Zane Adams. Looked like he was giving him a new piece of equipment as well. So just take away all the hardware from both the pitcher and the catcher. Let's start fresh.
Man, I'm glad I couldn't coach in this complicated game now, you know. Have some guy come over and tell me the radio's not working. Well,
how about this? Here's what fastball means.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what curveball means. I'm gonna pat the inner part of my leg if I want it here.
Well, we spent 5 minutes trying to get the second pitch off because somebody's got wire to wire. We have to call AT&T.
All right, everybody okay now? Nobody getting up looking for new equipment? We're done with technology issues the rest of the night. Two-0 pitch. Missing away. And is there anything to these issues causing Adams to be unsettled potentially as he faces his first batter? .3-0. Finds the strike zone.
I think Eddie Newsom's zone's going to be pretty good. It looked like it was pretty tight in the first inning. I thought a couple pitches could go either way. It looks like he's doing a pretty good job back there.
Count full after Adams had Galloway at a 3-0 count.
Maybe in that radio, they could tell him to throw a strike. You know, you could have a please strike, please ball.
Payoff pitch coming to the Oregon State leadoff hitter in the dirt. Leadoff walk issued to Galloway, and more often than not, that is a problem. Especially when a team like the Beavers has not been able to hit a ton lately. You don't want to give them these kind of gifts.
Well, he hasn't walked anybody all year, and I mentioned that, which is the baseball curse. So since I'm way up here, maybe he picked up my mic, and that was the problem. That when they had to go out and fix it was that I had mentioned he hadn't walked anybody, so Coach Vaughn had to assure him that that won't have an effect on it. But Easton tried to drag a push yesterday, taking the first pitch. I always like it when guys are going to take the pitch that they don't actually look like they're going to take the pitch, but they tried to start some action with him yesterday. As you remember, Chris, twice he tried to push to the right side. So they're playing shallow with the second baseman, anticipating that.
Neal able to block it, keep it in front of him. Well, you say that Adams can't hear you, but our audio is being pumped in to the speakers in the concourse, so fans, when they go to get a concession treat, they can keep up with the game. So if he has really good hearing, he might actually be able to hear you.
Wow. Is there any video to that? We might be able to see somebody in the line tell them to bring us up a coldie.
Just give them directions. They're listening right now. Somebody in one of those concession lines. What's your order? What do you need?
And one of them saying I need a strikeout, and the other guy saying I need a double in a gap.
Here's the 2-1. 2-2, catching the outside corner at 93. And with that count, Alabama will adjust its defensive alignment. Torres sneaks between LeBron and Holt. He's standing to the right of second base. 2-2. Torres gets it, the third baseman playing over where second base normally would be, and very quickly LeBron, realizing nobody's at third, not allowing Galloway to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, maybe sometimes you overthink it there. That's a ground ball double play if they just play in somewhere close to where you traditionally play, but I get the shift. I get the game's got so complicated now. I'm glad I'm here to try to figure it out. This is there's a lot of shifting going on. I love the big league thing, and I know we talked about that. I like the fact that they kept the crazy shift, and you got to be bag or over, and so that's very important.
Cooper Vance pushing one to the first baseman Vaughn, who beats him by a step. Moves Galloway to third. Bryce Hubbard up now. He had a very short day of work on Friday, but it was a productive one. Picked up a walk and was immediately pinch ran for. But that's a good day at the office. You did your job, you got on base.
You're still getting paid the same amount no matter what.
The Oregon State DH takes the first pitch for a ball. Hubbard was the hero in the Beavers' surprise finale against Michigan. Had a walk-off solo homer in the 10th. Gave the Beavers a 5-4 win to close out a trip to the Rangers and Royals facility that left them with 3 wins and 1 loss. Ripping through the 1-1 pitch, 94 and high in the zone.
And I don't want to overstate how much I enjoyed Surprise, but I'll tell you, Chris, it was special, and it's just like this. And we played 8 down there. We'd play 4 first weekend and then stay and play 4 more, and so it was just tremendous for us.
1-2. Did it catch the corner? No. Just outside. We have TrackMan technology up here in the booth, the robot ump, and it would agree with Mr. Newsom.
Mr.
Outside.
Newsom was right.
2-2. Got him swinging. Adams can't catch the corner, but able to get Hubbard flailing at that pitch. Oregon State leaves a man stranded at third base. Alabama leads 1-0 after a full inning.
Be advised, a powerful storm is rapidly approaching. Opponents are advised to seek shelter. The tide is coming.
The Frisco Classic brought to you by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource that no college baseball fan can be without. Chris Maikowski, Pat Casey with you on D1Baseball.com, while Ken Jones leads our team behind the scenes. With your subscription to streaming this weekend, you also can tune in to the Las Vegas College Baseball Classic. Mike Farron and Mike Rooney have the call of that event. It features Oregon, UC Irvine, Arizona, and Vanderbilt. Top of the 9th of their first game. Oregon is the designated visiting team, and they are up to the plate, top of the 9th, trailing 8-5 to the Anteaters.
Yeah, they're undefeated this year. Coach Wojciechowski's got them going pretty good.
In danger of suffering. In danger of a 8-5 UC Irvine win. One out there will track that and get you a final if you don't feel like flipping over to Coach Farron and Coach Rooney for the last little bit of that one. Top of the second here in Frisco.
Good pitch.
This is Eric Hines. He'll be followed by Brennan Holt and Bryce Fowler.
You know, there's got to be real conviction when you have an inning like that to come out the next inning and get after him. Go right after him.
Foul back.
I got to talk to Ken before the game about the Pacific Ocean. Great story. I told him he needed to get into Central Oregon there and check out the Three Sisters.
It has been a while since I've made my way to the great state of Oregon. I get back. 2-2.
Well, the state of Texas is so big, I think it takes 364 days a year just to go see most of it. I drove through it, 1983.
I've lived here most of my life and still have big parts of the state I haven't explored. I haven't been to Big Bend, haven't been to the Rio Grande Valley. 2-2. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the day for Ethan Kleinschmidt.
I was a professional bus rider in 1983 in the Texas League. '82, I started in Amarillo, so I got to see West Texas, Southeast Texas, Midland, Texas, you name it. Riding a bus across the big state of Texas at 22 years old was quite a treat.
And who were you playing for then?
I was with the Padres organization. So 1 year, half a year we were in Amarillo, and the next year in '83 we were in Beaumont.
Okay. Mitch Canham was in the Texas League as well as a player and as a manager.
Managed the Travelers.
As Holt is retired by Hayes. Now back in 2009, 2010, played for the San Antonio Missions and then managed the Arkansas Travelers as part of the Mariners organization.
So Mitch was drafted as a sandwich pick in the 2007 draft by the San Diego Padres. Came in as a third baseman.
Here's Fowler back to the top of the Alabama order. And one of the sports writers in the post-game press conference asking Coach Canham, or regular welcoming him to Frisco, saying first time here, right? He's like, no, I've been here as a player, as a manager. Just first time leading Oregon State to Frisco. Had some memories of suffering through 105 degrees days down the field in midsummer. Much more pleasant this weekend.
Yeah, I experienced about every type of weather you could imagine in the state of Texas when you travel from East Texas to West Texas to North Texas. It varies, as you well know.
2-1. During the Texas League season, it varies a little bit, but 90% of the time it feels like it's 100 degrees.
100% of the time it is 90 degrees.
Fowler. Back over onto the concourse and on the top of one of the luxury suite roofs.
You know, really impressive the pitching staff Coach Dorman's put together. I tell you, he does a great job. We saw a couple of those arms yesterday, and we haven't even seen the half of them. So this is what he ordered, was a real quick, short inning. And he gets it.
2 strikeouts for Kleinschmidt in the top of the second inning. Hines and Fowler are his victims. But Alabama leads 1-0 over Oregon State.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco, proud to provide the very best in healthcare with a quality of service that goes above and beyond your expectations. We've taken care of this community in its greatest time of need and will continue to do so in the years to come. Greatly appreciate the support of Texas Health Hospital Frisco this weekend at the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. Just had a very short visit from Peak Events President Nathan Wooldridge, coming up to give Coach Casey some goodies before he hits the road.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I need more gear. Hey, you know, let's talk about a couple of those clubs out there. O'Connor's got Mississippi State 10-0. Sully's ran 10 in a row off after losing the first game. There's some teams, Stanky out at USC. I think they're undefeated.
Oregon no longer among the undefeated, as that game has gone final in Las Vegas. UC Irvine beats the Ducks 8-6 after the Anteaters put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, I'll tell you, anything can happen in Vegas. The wind blows. It can be cold. Played Clemson there in a tournament one time early in my career.
Singer, Haight, and Craig due up for the Beavers. Missing away.
I think Eric's got Bakich has got those guys going too. Clemson, speaking of Clemson. Danny Hall, 9-1 at Georgia Tech. There's some clubs out there that my buddy Elliot Avon at North Carolina State, they were 8-1 going into today. Boo. My first year of coaching, I went to New Mexico State, and he was the head coach there. And the wind blew so hard, I told everybody on the bus to make sure they looked around real good because we were never coming back. I mean, it was windy.
Well, they improved, NC State did, to 9-1, beating Sacred Heart today 15-5. Rolling with the Wolfpack. In the center, A.J. Singer with a leadoff single.
Yeah, he needs to get going for the Beavers. He can really help them. He hit much, much better last year early, but he's real capable of adding to that offensive side.
Leads to Haight, who provided the go-ahead RBI yesterday in the 4th inning with a single down the left field line.
Look for action here, some type of action.
Torres playing on the edge of the dirt and the grass, creeping in on the third base side. LeBron and Holt at double play depth. Haight, one hopper to Torres. Had a bit of a hard time bringing that one in, and all they can do is get the lead runner.
Pitching and defense, if you can't shrink the game, it makes it difficult. You can manage when it's 3-1, 4-1, 2-1, but you got to get them off the field. You got to get your arm off the field. That's a double play ball. As a matter of fact, in the first inning, that shift cost them a double play once there too. So I don't know how many pitches they've added on here, but always good to get your arm off the field. This guy can hurt you, Craig. If you leave one in the middle, he can damage a cookie in a hurry.
Craig also drove in a run yesterday. That was the tying run, starting the Oregon State scoring in the 4th.
Biggest hit of his career last year was the Super Regionals against Florida State. He had a big hit in that first game where they came back and beat Florida State after trailing down, I think, 3 runs with 2 outs in the 9th.
1-1 the count to Craig. Runner is going. Haight slides in. He's dead meat.
I'm challenging that one, but and I'm a long way away, but man, that was a bad jump, and that was didn't appear to me that he was there in time, but the young man didn't tap his helmet real quick, so I guess they're going to let it ride.
2 out for Oregon State in the bottom of the 2nd. And 1 pitch later, out of the inning, Jacob Craig goes down looking. The 2nd strikeout victim for Zane Adams. We are through 2 in Frisco, 1-0 Tide.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
Here's what's coming up on the final day of the Frisco College Baseball Classic. We begin at 11 o'clock Central Time with Oregon State and Iowa. That is a breakfast game for the Beavers when you look at the Pacific time zone. 9 o'clock start out west. 3 o'clock Central for Houston and Alabama to wrap up the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. Coach, Dallas-Fort Worth this weekend is the epicenter of the college baseball world. Frisco Classic and south and west of us at Globe Life Field, they have a loaded set of teams there as well. Mississippi State at 10-0, taking on Virginia Tech right now. Bulldogs leading the Hokies 5-1 in the fifth.
No surprise that the great state of Texas would have a baseball weekend like this, and that D1 baseball would be involved.
Justin
Tremendous.
LeBron taking the first pitch. Unanimously the top position player to watch this weekend. We saw the top pitcher to watch in the Frisco Classic yesterday as Dax Whitney put together another gem. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings for Oregon State. But Joe Healy put it simply that LeBron is the biggest star in this tournament. His defense will take your breath away, and then on offense, he does things like last night with a grand slam in the ninth.
Yeah, there's no question about the tools, and you think about putting 10 to 15 pounds on him over the next couple of years, what he can do with Chalowski at UCLA. Man, you're talking about 2 real shortstops in this draft. I saw him play for John Savage the other night. They were playing, I can't remember, it's TCU. Man, and he took a ball out of left field, took a ball out of right field, defended. Like I said, there's some great teams. You know, we can't forget about the 2 teams in Texas, A&M and Texas, both undefeated, I think. Michael Early's got his club going. Schloss is always doing that. Jay down at LSU, they're 9-1. My buddy Nate Yeske, the pitching coach there, they're doing a great job.
Yeah, Texas got to 9-0 last night with a convincing win over Coastal Carolina down at the Astros ballpark. They've got Baylor today there. That one will get started at 8 o'clock. And the Aggies are in Arlington tonight for the late game against #1 UCLA.
Ooh, that'll be a good game. Every time I think of Coastal Carolina, I think of Gary Gilmore. What a tremendous man he was and still is. And we were both in the World Series together, retired here last year. I thought that was super cool. What a great job he did at Coastal Carolina to make that program what it is.
Grady Neal unsuccessful in putting the bunt down. So one of the rules, and I had to teach this to you yesterday, one of the press box rules, we never talk about pace of play. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But again, 8 o'clock first pitch in Arlington for UCLA and Texas A&M. There is a possibility that you could watch this game and that game tonight if you have a really quick rental car.
Well, I'll tell you, in Omaha, you never know what time you're going to play because you are going to get a thunderstorm.
That's true.
For sure.
Well, there are 2 other games before that one at Globe Life. So that 8 o'clock is probably not really going to happen. So a much better chance of taking in that one if you want to head down to Arlington afterwards.
So how far are we from Arlington?
On a Saturday night, not a ton of traffic, probably about 50 minutes.
Yeah, some crazy games there. 4-hour and 25-minute delay against University of Washington in the 2018 series. That's a long time to sit and chew bubble gum. And how about the hitter? He came out with a 2-2 count and had to go to the plate. Tyler Malone, and he walked.
Neal waiting on it. 1-2 is outside.
Obviously hard to pick up the move with LeBron not going.
Waiting on the 2-2. Another check over to first. Neal walked in his first plate appearance. Top of the first, was left stranded at third. Here's the 2-2. High fly to left. Haight backing up at the track, at the wall. It carries over. Grady Neal goes deep for Alabama. His second home run of the year. The Tide go up 3-0.
Got that up in the jet stream and helped him a lot. He made great contact. 1-2 pitch. Probably Ethan wants that one back, but the wind did help him a bunch there.
At first, it looked harmless enough, but Haight watches that one. You see the flags right next to where that ball went out, Coach. That's how hard the wind is blowing right now. And only appropriate that Alabama flag that is standing at attention is the furthest left, closest to that latest dinger.
Yeah, Haight looked like he thought he was there where the ball was hit. He kept drifting and drifting and drifting, and that corner there jumps back pretty good. So ball was hit well, but the wind definitely took it out of the ballpark. Probably going to be off the track without the wind. Now it's dying.
Measures at 370. That wall marked at 364. Just left of the peak porch. Now here's Luke Vaughn, who had a homer of his own yesterday. 3-run job in the first inning. Schmidt watching that one sail out of play. Coach Canham has said about Kleinschmidt that he doesn't let one mistake turn into two. He doesn't let one run turn into more. He can settle himself after watching a ball sail out of the yard.
Well, I'll tell you, after that first inning, he came out and had a dominant second inning. Ball there, fly ball. You know, LeBron puts a swing on it. He's going to get a lot of people, but I'm not sure that that's on an F7 if the wind isn't blowing. But here again, we're going to find out because he's got a chance to do that right now.
2-2. Full count now to Vaughn, who was clipped by a fastball in the first. That loaded the bases for Alabama. Three-two. Goes down swinging, tipped back in the glove of Galloway. Third strikeout for Kleinschmidt.
Ethan was appreciative of that. The ball was much more off the plate than I think that Vaughn would have liked to thought it was going to be when it left his hand.
John Lem, RBI fielder's choice back in the first. Put Alabama up 1-0. Now 2 here in the third. 3-0 Crimson Tide. Off the fists to Craig, who shuffles it to Kleinschmidt for the second out. We'll bring up Torres. Torres is the anchor of the Alabama defense, an elite player in the field. The bat so far has been the big question mark.
Yeah, he's battling that Mendoza line a little bit, but early, real early. You know, you played 10 games. Anything can happen in 10 games. You can have 10 games where you're, 18 for 40, and you can have 10 games where you're 1 for 22. So he will probably find his way.
Went 0 for 4 yesterday, lowering his average to 194. One lifted high to left. What will the wind do with this one? Sending it to the home run terrace on the roof.
Now,
how dare we question the bat of Jason Torres?
Well, there you go. You said the old baseball rules. Don't talk about he hasn't walked anybody. Walks first guy of the game. We talk about him at the Mendoza line, but we did say he can turn around in a hurry. Now that ball there, that ball was torched. That wasn't like Vaughn's. That ball was hit. So I think it's a lot different than Neal's. I think Neal's was aided by the wind. I think that ball's out of a lot of ballparks.
On top of the roof for home run number 2 on the year for Jason Torres. 4-1, 4-0 rather. Crimson Tide out in front. 4 runs on 4 hits for Alabama. Oregon State so far, no runs and just a single base hit.
Well, this is what Coach Vaughn wanted. We talked to him yesterday at practice. He just said we just got to get going offensively. We got some big injuries. We lost 2 guys who are going to be major contributors. And if we can just get on the board, get some excitement, get some of these guys that weren't going to play some experience. So thus far, they've done a real nice job with Ethan, that's for sure.
I'm questioning our technology here. We had some issues earlier with PitchCom. Now I'm questioning TrackMan because we see that wall at 364, right, in left center. That's on the roof of the home run terrace, and the measurement is 355 feet.
Yeah, I'm questioning that as well. We could go back to the first inning, and it could be the earpiece that wasn't working on pitch 1.
2-2 now to Steele. It is 335 straight down the line, but that was well out. Now, if the wind really starts picking up again like it was a few minutes ago, and somebody gets a hold of one, that's potentially back to the apartments. Strikeout number 4 for Ethan Kleinschmidt, but he allows 3 runs in that third inning, including a pair of dingers. 4-0 Tide.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
We are at the home of the Frisco Rough Riders, the Double-A affiliate of the Texas Rangers. And the most well-known feature of this yard is the lazy river beyond the wall in right field, the largest water feature in baseball. And last year, what could be a new tradition began here at the Classic. LSU won the tournament, and their players proceeded to sprint out to the stairs in right and do cannonballs into the river. And I asked Dax Whitney yesterday, Coach, if the Beavers go 3-0, win the Classic, will you commit to being the first one out there and jumping into the water? And he said, absolutely. I promise you that right now. So I have Dax's word.
That's a good guy to follow. They're going to be Dax is going to pull that wagon for a long time for Oregon State, at least the next year and a half, that's for sure.
Now, Jack DeLongchamp, our partner here on D1 Baseball, we heard earlier with Darren Vaught, I believe he was looking for a certain share count on social media for him to jump in after the games are over yet tomorrow. So I don't know where that stands right now. I'll have to get an update from Jack.
Well, since I won't be here, you could do me a favor and you could jump in and tell me how it was so I could experience it.
Steele lifting will be under that one, rather, making the catch to retire Vasquez. So you're not going to cap your experience here by heading out to the pool when this game's over?
Well, when the game's over, it's going to be dark. I won't be able to find my way back.
And you didn't bring a dry set of
Well,
clothes.
Nathan probably, it might be in my guest package
you have
here.
a new Frisco Classic hoodie.
Frisco Speedos, jump in the lazy river.
That would be a nice addition to the gift bag for the kids next year, right? They get some really cool gifts when they arrive here in Frisco. Swim trunks. Why not? Surely they can bring together a sponsor for that.
I got it for them. They could get a sponsor to say, I jumped in the lazy river after winning the championship, and everybody's handed one as they head out to the lazy river.
This is Hayes. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts, getting his first hacks on Saturday. Watches that one called for a strike inside. As Zane Adams continues on the bump for Bama. A couple of strikeouts for him so far. One each in the first and the second, both times ending the frame that way. Hayes into shallow left center. Hines comes on to make the grab. And we'll get back to the top of the Beaver order with Jacob Galloway.
Zane Adams starting to settle in there a little bit, isn't he? Starting to make a little better pitches, feels a little more comfortable.
Well, he's only faced one more than the minimum to this point. Walked Galloway his first time up. Got left stranded at third. And then Singer started the second with a single. But he was put out on a fielder's choice. Again, shallow. It'll be Fowler coming on to make the grab. 3 up, 3 down. Each Alabama outfielder gets in on the action. Flyouts to right, left, and then center for the Beavers in the third.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco is proud to once again sponsor the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is a special year as it's the 10th year for this tournament here in Frisco. We are so excited to welcome those of you who are new to our area and those of you who live here but are out for a great baseball tournament. We are proud to be community partners with this organization and hope that you enjoy the weather and the rest of this weekend.
Have a fantastic tournament. Play ball.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
Frisco Classic presented by Peak Events, home of the best outside of Omaha. Follow peak.events on social media. Spell that out. It's Peak D-O-T Events on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Keep up with the best in early season college baseball. Peak Events is also holding a silent auction this weekend to benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the longtime beneficiary of this tournament. You can go to their website at peak.events/CF-foundation and you'll find a link to that auction. Let's take a look at some of the big ticket items here, Coach. I want to see how much you're going to put in for a bid. The two headliners that my wife wants me to put in for. She just hasn't decided which one yet. So right now, she's saying both, and I'm telling her she can't have both. Okay?
All right.
Get away to Barbados, as this ball may get away to the berm. Yes! Eric Hines sending that ball on a vacation. Solo shot to begin the fourth for Alabama.
We can talk about the wind all we want, but that was a good swing. He put a real good swing on the ball, got a fastball out over the plate. Looked like it was a slider, I mean. But he put a good swing on that ball. Going to make a change here. Here comes Coach Canham. He's going to go to the bullpen. Tough day for Ethan. He's going to be just fine. You know, this happens to young people quite a bit, but he's going to be just fine. He's going to be a good draft pick. He's going to have a long career. So Eric, Barbados.
we'll get back
I need your wife's cell number.
We'll get back into silent auction talk in just a minute. Eric Hines, his first home run of his college career, and he puts Alabama up by one more run.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
It'll be the freshman lefty, Trey Morris, coming on for Oregon State, making his third collegiate appearance. Saw him twice so far this year again, and it was Michigan that first weekend on 4 1/3 inning outing, and lasted a good long while. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, giving up just 1 Wolverine run in that Monday win in Surprise, Arizona. Came back last week at the Round Rock Classic, went 1 2/3 against Purdue in that tournament-ending loss to the Boilermakers. Well, a couple of freshmen on display here in this half inning, Coach. We get to see Morris now, but that was Hines with his first career home run. That did not look like a freshman swinging the bat.
No, that was a beautiful swing, and good for the young man. Probably feels great. Going to call home tonight. Told both girlfriends he hit a home run. Tell mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and everybody involved, I got my first dinger in Frisco.
Very, very cool. Glad we could be part of that for the young man. Homegrown product from Tuscaloosa. Brennan Holtz be the first batter that Trey Morris faces. And that epic shot interrupted our talk about the silent auction benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We'll put that web address up on your screen one more time after this pitch to Holt. That's hit into left field. A one hopper to Adam Hates. From Kleinschmidt to Morris, does not matter for Alabama. The bats keep going.
Yeah, right now Alabama seems to be more aggressive at the plate. Of course, St. Adams is, it's not like he's throwing cookies up there. He's tough to handle. And Oregon State sometimes, like most clubs, when you struggle to score runs, that kind of, you try to press a little bit. Hitting is contagious. Boy, I'll tell you what, you get that feel, you get that momentum, changes things.
Top of the Alabama order for Bryce Fowler. Again, you can go to the Peak Events website and bid on the silent auction items.
Well, you've mentioned that you're going to eliminate the Barbados because your wife is going to be so excited that you are bidding on that one, and that's hers.
I get to tag along.
They just need to scratch that from the silent auction now.
Here's the address again, peak.events/CF-foundation. And you can bid on these items. A getaway to Barbados. The bid right now is $250. And its value, let's see the overall value of this thing according to the description. $3,225. That's fair market value for this trip. Club Barbados, located on the prestigious Platinum West Coast of the island. And it is an adults-only experience, so you can leave the kids at home.
Yeah, I've got a lot of kids that I've got to worry about right now, I'll tell you. Grandkids.
Romantic oceanfront setting. So that's one of those choices. The other one is to Antigua.
Antigua.
And bidding is at the same spot right now at $250. So if of those two, I have to decide on one of them because we can't do both. Not enough money, not enough time.
I'm thinking you're cutting her short. You got an anniversary, you got a wedding, you got Christmas. You could do anything with those things.
She does have a birthday coming up in about 3 weeks, and then our 20th anniversary is this summer.
Good. Congratulations. That's awesome. Family. I'll tell you what, we talk about it all the time when I was coaching about how important that is.
One of those trips would be a pretty good little 20-year anniversary vacation into left field. And that will trail foul, sliding in Vasquez, feet first into the wall. So we get the great trip, and it would benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
You know, you guys
win-win.
You should have had a trip down to the bayou to have gumbo prepared by Big Ben. How about that? That would have went for.
She's done that before. She wants something different
All right. Well, I wasn't saying for her.
Born and raised Baton Rouge girl, my wife. Grew up at the box.
Wow.
Many a game. Although her dad is a huge Alabama fan, so he's tuned in today rooting for the Tide. Household divided there, LSU and Alabama.
Man, them fighting words there now.
I fly in as the Mizzou guy and don't have a dog in that hunt.
Oh.
And that hit Fowler. 2 men on, nobody out for Bama, and they already have a run here in the fourth. In addition to the trips, there are signed baseballs from all 4 of these teams. You've got a travel package to next year's Frisco Classic. Some clothing items and tickets and swag to the Texas Legends, the NBA G League team that plays just across the street at Comerica Center.
Just think what that ball's going to be worth in a couple of years. Some of the players in this tournament that Peak Events has made so special. Wow. We could name a couple of them that go real early in the draft.
Yeah, this Justin LeBron signature will be worth a few dollars. Adam Haight can't pull that one out of the sky. Bases loaded for the Tide.
Well, I think the wind, you know, he's been so, that wind is blowing so hard that I think that it's a tough ball even though it was down, and he did a heck of a job to get to it. That would have been an amazing catch right there. But now you got the bases loaded. Left on left here. Oregon State needs to get a strikeout, or they got to get a double play ball here.
Brady Neal at the plate. Homered his last time up in the 3rd. First pitch swinging. In foul territory. Galloway making the catch. Neal had the 2-run bomb his last time. But here in the 4th, he flies out in foul territory.
That kind of got to Coach Casey a little bit when guy would swing first pitch and be late, bases loaded, nobody out. I had a hard time with that one. Probably could have been a little more patient, but I can certainly tell you that I wasn't. Man, that's a time to snap somebody's neck right there. You got the bases loaded and nobody out with a 5-run lead.
Well, Luke Vaughn equally capable of bringing these runners around. 4 home runs on the year for him, including one last night. So far today, hit by a pitch in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd.
Boy, Trey's a big kid, 6'2", 251, left-hander.
Bringing smoke at 91.
Washington Union High School, Easton, California.
All-state player there, league MVP. 1-1.
Good pitch.
Yep.
Oh, ABS would have had him off. Just a fraction.
That is millimeters outside the strike zone, according to the robot umpire.
The robot.
1-2. Well high. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases juiced for Bama. Vasquez to second to Singer and on to Craig. Can't finish the double play. Craig stretching out.
I'm challenging that one.
The safe call comes, and Alabama adds another run. 6-0 Tide.
I think they're going to challenge that one, or he's going to talk to him about the play at second. You know, they've changed that rule, Chris, about 16 times. So when you go down there, you're going to have a better chance of getting hurt trying to figure out how to slide than you ever are taking somebody out.
I was on a preseason Zoom call with SEC umpires trying to explain mainly the rules at the plate for a throw coming in, and that confused the heck out of me.
Well,
but at second, we have to deal with this as well as LeBron slides in.
Yeah, you know, with the ABS system now, with the automated ball system there in the MLB, we've had meeting after meeting at Brewers camp over that and how that's going to affect the player, because they're actually going to come in and measure each individual. And so, you know, the strike zone, it will not be a strike zone in a box. It is supposed to meet the height of the player. And I think when it gets ambiguous as to when he crouches and you know, what he does, I guess he's going to challenge the slide at second.
They'll go down to the well ahead of the first base dugout where the replay system is set up. We'll take our looks as well. Eddie Newsom and Joseph Smith. So without our home plate umpire mic'd up, we're not positive which part they're looking at here. But okay, they're looking at the collision at second, we hear now from our director, Ken Jones. And LeBron pops up and gets in the way of Singer's arm.
Well, you can come up if you're on the bag, and you can slide past it if you're on the bag. So I'm not sure what the challenge is, but certainly probably a good challenge right there. If you can get run off the board here with them trailing and kind of struggling right here, if this gets overturned, this would be big for Oregon State.
Taking their time. Check this out, and Trey Morris will try to stay loose. Zane Adams is also up and throwing outside the Alabama dugout.
Well, taking that much time looking at it means that they're talking about it, at least.
The old adage being that if you can't figure it out quickly, then it's not conclusive.
Yeah, I just think that, I don't know. There are so many things that are so ambiguous at the slide at the plate and at second base, but I get it.
So the call will stand here, we're being told, and inning will continue.
I think that leaves Oregon State out of challenges, doesn't it, Chris?
That would be their second. They've lost both. Yeah.
We were kind of laughing about that ABS. If once you're out of challenges on the strikes, the umpire could be pretty dangerous, you know? Like he can't miss one now.
So Holt does in fact score on a fielder's choice run batted in for Vaughn. Inning began with a home run by Eric Hines. Then Holt singled to center. Fowler hit by a pitch. Justin LeBron reaching on a single that fell out of the glove of Adam Hayes. Brady Neal popping out. And now Luke Vaughn at first after a fielder's choice. So 2 out, 2 on for Alabama, and John Lem, the designated hitter who provided a fielder's choice run batted in back in the first.
Morris really trying to get the Beavers off the field right here would be a big. Trailing by 6 early though.
1-1 to Vasquez at third. On to Craig. 3 down now for Bama in the 4th. They add 2 more. 6-0 Crimson Tide in Frisco, middle of the 4th. Frisco Classic, proud to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Scan that QR code on your screen and make a donation to help us add tomorrows to those living with the disease. Since the founding of the Frisco Classic, Peak Events has raised $250,000 for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And here's another way that you can help the cause. Bid in the silent auction. Go to peak.events/CF Foundation to check that, /CF dash foundation. Got to get that dash in there and get your bids in right now. Bidding will close at the end of our games tomorrow. And the big ticket items again, the getaway to Barbados and the getaway to Antigua. Both look pretty sweet. I gave you a little detail on the Barbados situation. Should fill you in on St. James as well. It's a private 100-acre peninsula on the southeast coast with clear turquoise water surrounding your own private oasis.
Well, that's why you're going to bid on it. I'm thinking you're going to go probably to about 2,500 to get that. Just one game's work for you.
Yeah.
Half a game, 3 innings.
I don't know who you're confusing me with, Coach. I'm not that high dollar of a guy yet.
Good swing, Easton.
That goes into left center.
Oh, that wasn't easy.
Solid single for Oregon State to start this bottom of the 4th inning for Easton Talt. Don't second guess yourself.
Well, I saw him running. I saw him running. I said, man, you run faster than that. Because he can move.
It'll be Cooper Vance next. Oregon State looking to chip away at this 6-run deficit. Yesterday, to start the Frisco Classic, only able to manage 2 runs against the Houston Cougars. But with Dax Whitney and a solid bullpen behind him, all the Cougars could manage was 1, so a 2-1 win for Oregon State to start the Classic.
Did not get a chance to talk to Coach Gardner about their bullpen much, but I would assume Alabama would have some guys in the bullpen that could come in and hold serve.
Didn't have to use many arms yesterday in a 10-run win over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Blocked by Neal.
Saw a couple good arms today out of the bullpen for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Iowa winning 6-4 over Houston in our early game today. They're now 1-1 on the weekend. Both of these teams winners on Friday. Lifted high into the Frisco sky. Hines watches LeBron come out to get that ball. One down. With the result earlier today, Iowa beating Houston. An Alabama win in this matchup would clinch the Frisco Classic title for the tie. Someone could catch them at 2-1 if Alabama loses tomorrow to Houston, but the Tide would have the head-to-head tiebreaker over either Iowa or Oregon State.
Well, if they win, then they could prepare for the Lazy River.
This is true. I haven't been able to talk to any of their players about that yet, but I assume they'd be just as excited as Dax Whitney and the Beavers about jumping in if that means they're tournament champions. Saw that last year with LSU. I'd been waiting on it. Coach, I've been part of every single one of these classics, and I kept hoping, because it has to be organic. We can't tell the players to do it. And LSU on their own, the kids said, we're going to sprint out there, we're jumping in, we're getting wet.
I like it. I like it. I wonder if Coach Yeski jumped in, the pitching coach there. He was my pitching coach at Oregon State. What a great human being.
We got him looking. Bryce Hubbard goes down for the second time today.
Don't know if there's a whole lot better in the country than him and Rich Dorman. Man, tremendous guy. Had a chance to go jump on the pro side too, and he stayed with college. So Arizona, A&M, and now LSU.
Here's Singer, single to lead off the second.
Boy, he dotted that one, huh?
Right on the edge of the strike zone. It's 79. Missing high and in. Even if it's established, even if the champion this year does it, and hopefully it becomes the regular, some years it's going to be too cold. Some years a team can win a championship here yet lose on the last day, so they're not going to jump into the pool.
Boy, you're insulting all my buddies from Canada when you say it's too cold. Like they're thinking, are you kidding me? Let's go.
You don't want any of these players to catch the sniffles before they head back to campus. Got to stay in top form. 1-2.
Great pitch. How about those Olympic champions, huh? The men and women's on the hard water. Man, getting it done. Exciting.
I wish I could say I was locked in the whole time. Had to work with other sports. Back to the pitcher, Adams. Spins around and makes the play. Oregon State got the leadoff hitter aboard with Easton Talt, but doesn't move any further than first base. Crimson Tide maintains a 6-0 lead through 4 in Frisco. Time for trivia presented by Raising Cane's. Coach, I have been to the original location where Cane's was founded. You know a bit about my history of where I've resided, so you got a pretty good shot at this. Is it A, B, or C? Baton Rouge, New Orleans, or Dallas? The original, the OG Raising Cane's. We'll get the answer in the next half inning. You have time to think about it.
It takes me a long time to think. I'm pretty instinctive, you know what I mean? Impulsive, make quick decisions. I've already locked in, you know, when they say you don't know the answer, just go with C. That's how I passed my real estate exam.
Our friends at Cane's are hanging out down the third baseline tonight in the concourse. Went by and saw them earlier, got some goodies. Jack DeLongchamp is, how's he doing at trivia overall? Ken Jones is in my ear, our producer. All right, 1 win, 1 loss. Last weekend, Jack was winless in trivia. Lifted into deep right field, onto the wall, and that's a leadoff double for Alabama. Jason Torres nearly cleared that yellow line. Had me caught between into the water, on the wall. We got there eventually. Double for Torres after a home run his last time up. Off the glove, just below that yellow line.
I'm always a believer if you come out of the box like you're gonna get a triple on that ball, you're probably standing at third. So hopefully that doesn't cost him a run here.
Peyton Steele 0 for 2. Flied out to left in the first, struck out in the third. Yeah, if you're coming out here tomorrow for day 3, you can see it above Mr. Steele's head there, the Raising Cane's tent. Go pay a visit, get yourself some goodies. They've got koozies, beads. That's belted to left but foul. Little souvenir baseballs and plush Raising Cane's dogs. Well, this they've got right next door to Raising Cane's, Coach, one of our other partners this weekend. It's Stretch Zone.
Stretch Zone.
It will help get you limber. Into right. Talt.
You're going to throw him out if he tries here.
Charging, and Torres will stay put. That's the smart call.
That's smart call. That's an RBI for that young man if the guy's at third base. So
Steele flies out 0 for 3. And that'll lead to Eric Hines, who homered in his last at bat in the 4th. The Stretch Zone, they will give you a free service over there. So middle innings of game 1 today, they stretched me out. I'm ready for action. Laid me down on the table. Told me how tight my hammies are.
Well, you got to work out more, you know. Got to work on those hammies, those quads.
They blame that on my lower back issues. So I think it's more that I've been in 2 car accidents in the last 3 years.
Yeah, that would probably do some damage.
1-0. Hines didn't play yesterday.
What a great baseball name, Eric Hines.
Making only his 2nd start of the season and delivering his 1st career home run last time up.
Hey, with the cell phone now, he's probably already called Grandma and Grandpa.
Two-one.
Good pitch. Oof.
just low and inside.
See,
The
got the
robot
corner,
umpire
yeah.
says he caught the corner.
Caught the corner. First one Newsom's missed all day long.
Real life human there. Not always perfect. Swing and a miss by Hines.
Good pitch.
3-2 now.
Well, my friend Greg Byrne, who's the athletic director at Alabama, who was at Oregon State when I first started there, he's no longer torn. He's rooting for the Crimson Tide. Good man.
You root for the paycheck. 3-2. That's the shortstop Vance. Bobbles it. Hines safe at first. Torres stays put at second. 2 men on, 1 out for Bama. And of course, it's not just about the paycheck. He is invested in all of these young men currently on this roster.
Greg's a good man. He's a good man. He's done a great job there. I don't know how many national titles they've won in football when he was there, but he was not the quarterback, that's for sure. But I did play a lot of noon basketball with him at Oregon State.
First pitch to Holt, missing low. Alabama leading 6-0 over Oregon State, top of the 5th inning. With a win today, the Crimson Tide would clinch the Frisco Classic Championship. One hopper to Singer.
Nice play.
On to Vance and to Craig stretching out for the double play. Pitching and defense will win a lot of ball games for Oregon State this season, but they trail in this one 6-0, middle of the 5th.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Last half inning, we gave you our Raising Cane's trivia question for the day. Time for the answer. Where was Raising Cane's founded? Coach, before we display the answer, give us your guess.
What's my guess?
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of, you want Dallas to think that they're tricking you into it, but I'm going to say it has to be Louisiana, doesn't it? So let's just go to New Orleans.
And our answer is Baton Rouge.
I've been beat by LSU before. Dan, coming.
The original location just outside the gates of campus.
I needed to phone a friend because
I'm right here. I've been to that.
My neighbor's from Baton Rouge. He would have said my good friend Steve Giglio.
Been to the original location many, many times, and while it was wonderful, there was also a location directly next door to my office when I was the sports director at Fox 44 in Baton Rouge. And so often we're busy getting ready for the next newscast. That is, you just go for the closest. So Canes is responsible for adding a good 20 pounds to the scale for me during that time in my life.
Wow.
Down the line by Adam Haight. He leads off with an extra base hit into the corner. Haight looking at it. He'll retreat back to second. Leadoff double to start the 5th for the Beavers.
Boy, they needed that. Adams has been shutting them down. Good swing, got out of the box, was pushing for 3, made a good decision when you're down 6. Yeah, you certainly got to know your territory with cuisine. You don't want to go into a Texas restaurant and ask for a shrimp salad.
I'll just tell you, everything I've learned now, I'm much older than I was when I was working in Baton Rouge. Everything in moderation. Cane's is a once-in-a-while great treat. Craig's day is done. Just got one AB, struck out looking in the second. Oregon State makes a change.
Yes, much better at moderation.
It's Ethan Porter stepping in for the Beavers. Porter waiting on the 1-0 in the dirt, blocked by Neal.
Oregon State trying to get something going here. Middle of the game, a lot of time left.
Porter, the freshman. First appearance of the Frisco Classic, going into center. Fowler backing up.
He's tagging.
Make the catch, and Haight will advance to third base. Porter moves the runner over, and Paul Vasquez comes to the plate, but down by 6. Of course, that's not all he was hoping to do there.
Right now, they would like to get on the board.
First step.
Infield back, put a ball in play, get on the board, get yourself feeling a little better. Use that strong bullpen.
Vasquez making his 4th start of the season. Flied out to right in the 3rd. Hitting .364 in his limited opportunities this year. Now down to .333 after that fly out in the 3rd inning. Opposite field, foul. Bouncing into the netting that now goes all the way down the line here at Riders Field. Used to have to have your head on a swivel if you sat down in front of that bullpen. Two-one. Waved at it.
That's a plus pitch right there. Change in a fastball count. Lethal, especially from the left-handers.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Haight at 3rd. Fouled off to the end of the Oregon State dugout. Beavers manning that 3rd base side where the Rough Riders normally sit. Those players out training in Surprise, Arizona, where Oregon State was just a couple of weeks ago.
Three off-speed pitches in a row there. Good location.
Neal will go talk to Adams before the 2-2 offering.
I think Neal was sent out there from the dugout, so I'm assuming maybe there was a cross-up on the pitch.
Matthew Helberger is out warming for the Tide, the junior lefty out of Birmingham.
You would think they would try to get 6 out of Adams. You know, he's only at about 60 pitches. Don't know how deep Coach Vaughn wants to go this early in the year, but I imagine he could get up to 85, 90. Feel comfortable with that if he can get out of this inning without too much damage. Oregon State really needs to get on the board here.
This is the 4th inning today that Oregon State has got its leadoff hitter on base, and right now in danger of yet again going scoreless in a frame as Vasquez goes down swinging. Ryan Hayes will sit in favor of the pinch hitter Josh Proctor. So a couple of changes in the lineup by Mitch Canham as he tries to find a spark. His team trailing by 6. Adam Haight at third base, 2 out. And around.
Freshman kid getting a big opportunity here. I like it, Mitch.
Freshman from California. Top 100 prospect. But chose college. Didn't see him yesterday, making his first Frisco Classic appearance. And
that
ball
one
is gone. The freshman coming through with a 2-run homer to start the scoring for Oregon State. Alabama 6, Oregon State 2. Bottom of the 5th in Frisco.
No wind there. That ball is torched. 431 feet. Exit velocity 107. What a swing.
A no doubter off the bat of Proctor. Beavers down by 4 now.
Both clubs getting a freshman a home run today.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
People ask Coach what are some of the gratifying things about this job, and obviously you get to work in sports, you get to go to ball games for free, but you also get to be part of moments that these young men are going to tell their kids and their grandkids someday.
Wow, good 2-strike.
Top of Torres' glove.
We just talked about the old Mo changing.
Yeah. Eric Hines and Josh Proctor. One day, they're going to pull out the tape of this game and want to show their kids this was home run number 1. It'll be my voice and your voice that they get to hear.
Absolutely. And they'll be on that ball that somebody's going to bid on right here real quick to help out.
We'll throw that link up again in a little bit. Mound visit for Alabama, and this may be the end of Zane Adams' day.
Now I'll tell you, Easton Talk can make it 6-4 in a hurry too if you make a mistake with him.
Here's for now, they'll let Adams keep going. Two out, Jacob Galloway aboard for Talt. Heiberger is ready to come in. At least one more batter for Adams. Ryan Gibson will get in a few final words of encouragement and instruction to Talt. First pitch to him. Talt was the hero last Friday as Oregon State beat Baylor to open the Round Rock Classic. Robbed a home run in the 7th and then delivered a 2-run base knock in the 9th to lift the Beavers over the Bears. Here he delivers a shot to the gap in right center. Galloway will be sent home. It's gonna be close at the plate. The throw is offline. Easton Talt comes through again for Oregon State. 3 runs in the 5th.
Put a good swing on that ball. A little momentum change. He's excited. He's an electric player. Alabama needs to get off the field here now. 6-3. Oregon State's closed that gap. Good for them. Somebody needs to make a play here. Zane Adams has been real good all day, running into a little trouble here.
That's a run-scoring double for Talt. He advances to third on the throw home, as Brennan Holt will be charged with an error on that throw to the plate. That would have been the 3rd out of the inning if it was on target and in time. One the count to Cooper Vance. Three spot for the Beavers in the bottom of the 5th. Oregon State offense pressing a bit of late. Trying to break through in this 5th. 3 runs, already surpassing all that they had yesterday. A 2-1 win.
Yeah, they're feeling good right now. Adams pressing a little bit here. He needs to make a big pitch to get him off the field.
1-2 into center. That'll bounce in front of Fowler, and Talt is plated. Cooper Vance with an RBI single. 4 runs in the 5th for the Beavers. They trail by 2.
You know, surprising as good as he's been that he would, that ball's in the middle of the plate, fastball, Oregon State's fastball hunting. Fooled him on a change earlier. We go back to that inning before, we talked about the Alabama hitter not getting to third base with nobody out. Fly ball to right would have been a run. Big run. Little things win and lose big games.
That's the end of Adams' day. Matthew Heiberger will replace him. We'll tell you more about the lefty from Birmingham. You're watching the Frisco College Baseball Classic on D1 Baseball. Matthew Heiberger was a high leverage reliever for the Tide all of last season. And comes in to this one after Oregon State plates 4 in the 5th, pull within 2 of Bama. He'll be making his 4th appearance on the year. Most recent one was a week ago today in the Saturday game against Rhode Island. 1 inning of work through 18 pitches, didn't allow a hit. Has 1 save on the season, earned that in the midweek against Alabama State. A dependable guy. Last year, Coach made 25 appearances out of the pen. 2nd most among the Alabama staff.
Yeah, I know that they really like him. Obviously, high leverage situation here. This tells you how important this game is to Alabama. I think Oregon State feels the same way. Don't know how deep they can go before they, you know, they probably want to get to Banks, and Oregon State's used a couple arms, but I think everybody that threw yesterday out of relief, other than Scott, could come back and throw today.
Heiberger, somebody that could fill a lot of different roles for Alabama this year. Again, reliever for last season, 2nd most used arm. But this year he could end up in the rotation for perhaps the midweek portion for the Tide. Here's Hubbard. Single into right field. Take that back. Glasgow now in the ball game for Oregon State. Pardon me, Bryson Glasgow delivering the base hit.
It seems like all the moves Coach Canham and Oregon State are making right now are working. They've used a couple pinch hitters here.
Consecutive singles for the Beavers. Now A.J. Singer. Singer singled in the 2nd. Rounded out to the pitcher's mound in the 4th. Two men on and 2 out for the Beavers. Looking to add to this total, but that's LeBron with the defensive gem.
Wow.
Justin LeBron with a grand slam last night and a top-notch defensive effort here today.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco is proud to once again sponsor the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is a special year as it's the 10th year for this tournament here in Frisco. We are so excited to welcome those of you who are new to our area and those of you who live here but are out for a great baseball tournament. We are proud to be community partners with this organization and hope that you enjoy the weather and the rest of this weekend.
Have a fantastic tournament. Play ball.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Frisco College Baseball Classic is presented by D1Baseball.com. No one covers college baseball like D1 Baseball. Covering every game from coast to coast, D1 Baseball is the resource that no college baseball fan can be without. Oregon State scores 4 in the 5th. Could have been more, but Justin LeBron, one of the best in the game, just an elite defensive shortstop, and he'll take your breath away sometimes, Coach.
I'll tell you what, that was a big time. You can put an asterisk next to that one. If you're sitting in the stands with your radar gun and your stopwatch, you're marking that one in your book.
Joe Healy and Mark Etheridge in their Highway to Hoover preview of Alabama this year on D1 Baseball put it plainly that any conversation about this team has to start with LeBron. Great player who has shifted from that into an elite student athlete. Bigger, stronger, more mature, and that talent is just otherworldly.
Boy, he was showcasing it there, I can tell you that, man. And you know what, that was huge too, because that scores another run for Oregon State, keeps the ball rolling. Big play.
Reset the defense for Oregon State as A.J. Hutchison will come on to pitch for the Beavers. And behind him, several changes to report. Outfield left to right, it's now Proctor, Haight, and Talt. Infield left to right is Vasquez, Vance, Singer, and Porter. Callaway continues as his battery mates.
A.J. Hutchinson, this is one of Doer's go-to guys. He's Elk Grove High School, where I've had a couple real good players, Jake Rodriguez, Nick Madrigal. They're in the Sacramento area.
We'll go work on that bat for Fowler while we continue to tell you about Hutchison, who is making his 4th appearance on the year. Last saw him 1 week ago in Round Rock against Southern Miss, where he wasn't able to register an out. Came in through 10 pitches.
They got a bunch of confidence in him, and first 2 pitches have been real good. Sometimes overlooked. You know, hitters go into a little spell where they don't swing the bat very well. Pitchers do the same thing. They start overthinking a little bit and try to nibble, and then they got to leave one in the middle of the plate, and they get hurt.
0-2 Fowler missing away. Hutchison last Saturday night at Dell Diamond came in top of the 7th. Walked a hitter to load the bases, and then allowed a 2-run single by Urban, who had a great weekend for the Golden Eagles. Fowler goes down looking. Hutchison with a strikeout. First man he sees.
And that ball's off the plate. A little arm side run. He's got that little 3/4 arm action, almost considered side arm, but he got a favorable call there.
And we get to see LeBron again. This time comes in with a 2-for-3 night so far. Pair of singles in addition to his defensive effort. D1 Baseball has him ranked as the number 2 prospect in the class of 2026. Cholosky out at UCLA, number 1 on that list. Both of those players here in Dallas-Fort Worth this weekend. UCLA will play Texas A&M tonight down at Globe Life Field in Arlington.
Boy, you're right. Those scouts would probably make that mad dash.
Few scouts and I'm sure a few baseball crazy fans downstairs. LeBron strikes out and Hutchison has a pair to start his appearance.
Big sink on that pitch right there. Arm side run, 2-seamer.
Watch that one trail off inside to LeBron.
kind of interesting seeing one team how they're playing with scoring 4 runs and one team who just gave up 4 runs. A little different energy in the Dugs.
Brady Neal can't check his swing. Neal had a wind-aided 2-run homer in the 3rd. Not blowing quite as hard now. That's the Singer at second. A 1-2-3 inning for the Beavers. All the momentum seems to be on the Oregon State side now. They trail by 2, middle of the 6th in Frisco. It'll be Haight, Porter, and Vasquez for Oregon State.
It was a simple idea. I wanted to make a bottle for myself that I could use for everything. It needed to keep my drinks cold, have the ability to mix my favorite drinks, and be easy to carry and clean. I didn't realize how many people would love their ice shaker and how it would change their lives.
Hi, I'm Chris Gronkowski, former NFL player and the creator of Ice Shaker. I created Ice Shaker to help us all live an active and healthy lifestyle.
Grab you an ice shaker today.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco, proud to provide the very best in healthcare with a quality of service that goes above and beyond your expectations. We've taken care of this community in its greatest time of need and will continue to do so in the years to come. This is exclusive coverage of the Frisco Classic on D1 Baseball, and those fans are having a good time. What was the count up to there, Coach?
I don't know. I'll tell you that the Beaver fans had a good time last inning. They got it going pretty good. They probably had to run to the Coldy line real quick and get back so they can enjoy the rest of this.
It'll be Haight, Porter, and Vasquez. I think they've got post-game beer waiting for us on the bullpen at the bullpen bar.
I'll bet they do.
As soon as we get off the air.
Big inning for both teams here.
Yeah.
If Oregon State can score again, man, going to put Alabama in a tough situation. If Alabama gets them off the field and keeps them from scoring, going to neutralize that momentum just a little bit.
Haight. This may put the Beavers within 1. A solo shot for Haight to start the 6th.
No doubter. No doubter.
4:15. 6-5 Bama. First home run of the season for Haight. A rocket off of his bat. That's above the berm, interrupting somebody's picnic if they were dining late into the night here in Frisco. You're not safe sitting out at those picnic tables when he's at bat.
There's a few guys that have went out there into that picnic area.
Grounded short. LeBron will make the play to retire Porter.
Big time energy on one side of the field and big time wondering what's hit him here on the other side. You know, and that happens in every sport. And you got to find a way to get it turned around. You got to get off the field. You got to find a way to scratch another run out. You got to minimize that mo. You got to.
All of Oregon State's scoring has come in these last 2 innings. 4 in the 5th, now 1 in the 6th. Alabama has spread their run production out. 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Tied up 6-5.
These are good arms they're doing this damage with too. These are not slouch arms. These are good arms. I would think that Alabama would want to think about bringing a right-hander in. You know, Oregon State's seen lefter quite a bit here. Saw lefty yesterday.
Foul off towards the Alabama pen.
Maybe just mix that up a little bit, but certainly got one of their better arms on the mound.
Two. Fouled into the parking lot. Again, the 2-2 offering. LeBron is there. Scooped out by Vaughn. Nice stab by the Bama first baseman.
Real good play. Real good play. Oregon State now is has more hits than Alabama.
That second column, 8 for the Tide, 9 hits for the Beavers. But Alabama has one more in that first column, and that's what matters. Back to the fence off the bat of Josh Proctor.
He got his swing off there. Homered last time up, feeling good. Freshman kid, getting that chance. Physical.
He was the hero opening weekend against Stanford. Looking for more highlights in Frisco. Fowler and Steele getting close out there. Leadoff home run from Adam Hates. Pulls the Beavers within a single run of Alabama. This is the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
Year 10 at the Frisco College Baseball Classic, and the family lawn has been busy tonight, Coach. Plenty of kids running around and getting souvenirs as the power has been on display this evening for the Beavers and the Tide.
Yeah, the ball go to left field, that's for sure. Now, a couple of those were no doubters. They're going to go out of every yard. Proctor's ball was they might be still looking for that one. Good ball game. You look at the depth of the pin, what's going to happen, who's going to defend. Some small defensive play here is going to change a lot of things. Ball 4 hasn't come into play. Did early with Kleinschmidt, but Oregon State's done a nice job out of the bullpen.
It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Alabama. in the top half of the 7th. That's Luke Vaughn, John Lem, Jason Torres. Vaughn is 0 for 2 tonight. Couldn't tell you exactly how much our crowd has grown as the evening has continued. They've certainly gotten louder.
And certainly nobody's left. The game is entertaining.
Diving Singer can't get to it. Leadoff single for Vaughn. And yeah, this game had the potential to get way out of hand. And some people may have thought it already was out of hand with Alabama leading 6-0 and Oregon State having yet to show that they could put runs on the board this weekend.
Yeah, both teams, they're not going to go away. Oregon State's going to battle you. Alabama's going to battle you. I think, like I said, it's going to come down to who can execute here at the end. I go back to those little things. I think that those little things win big games. And I think that ultimately, you're going to win some games when you hit the ball at the ballpark, but generally you're going to win games by doing the fundamentals in the game.
Lifted high into the Frisco night sky by Lem, backtracking and making the catch is Vance.
Pitcher's best friend, 1 pitch, 1 out, swinging at the first pitch.
Back in the 3rd, Jason Torres, the 355 home run off the roof at the home run terrace. And then in his most recent plate appearance, he doubled to lead off the 5th. Torres, the senior who entered the night with an average below the Mendoza line. But after a couple of hits, average above it now at 237. (1-0) grounded through Vasquez. Vaughn will dive into 3rd. The throw is in time. Alabama with a base running mistake there, coach. A little too aggressive. We'll take another look and see if Alabama gets away with it.
Yeah, hard for me to imagine he's going there. He's in scoring position. They haven't been threatening here lately. Need to stay in scoring position. Need to give somebody a chance for an RBI. Maybe they overturn it. I don't know. He feels like he got his left hand in there. I could see why.
Eddie Newsom and Joseph Smith are at the monitor set up in front of the first base dugout. And of course, official replay has been the norm for some time at these home ballparks, but Peak Events was the first at these neutral site tournaments to make official review available. They wanted to mimic exactly the experience that these teams would have at a regional, and part of that was the official review system.
It's the way it should be. And, I always say the SEC seems to be ahead of everybody. They were doing that. They were doing the communication with the catcher for everybody else. And so, it's good to see this universally throughout the game. I think it's important. Oregon State's out of challenges, so,
Let's take a look. Mark Hammer in the third base dugout. Foot comes in there for The third base umpire, Joseph Smith, may block our view. But at first glance, Vaughn may have got that mitt in on the left side.
If there's enough to overturn it, they'll overturn it because he touches him up in the chest and his hand's in there. It's a pretty big call here for both clubs.
Rather large. That would be the second out of the 7th. This will be another good look. Yeah, I think
he looks like he's safe. Now it's got to be conclusive to overturn it. So it'll be up to the judgment of that umpire standing there making that call, along with the help from the replay officials.
Taking time down there, but hard to imagine that this call is not going to get overturned based on the 2 looks that we've seen.
Yeah, from here, he got his hand in there. Whether they are blinded by that body when he...
We will let the drama sit out in the world as Eddie Newsom comes out to make the call. Alabama fans rejoice. The Tide players in the dugout doing the same as the call is overturned.
You know, it's funny is both teams have had an opportunity with review or a pitching change to have an offensive conference without costing them one, and then after the fact had an offensive conference. We did that when they made a pitching change. After he threw all of his warm-up pitches, we called timeout. Cost us one, but obviously it's different for Rob here because of the fact that he did not know the call was going to be overturned, but certainly you could have had them all there saying, hey, if this is overturned, here's what we want to do offensively. Saved yourself that offensive timeout.
Alabama fans, I really do hope that you're giving Coach Casey some grace, shaking "we" from the vocabulary when it comes to Oregon State. It'll be hard for him to ever do that.
Obviously love this game, love Oregon State University, but certainly appreciate everything everybody's doing on both sides of the diamond. No doubt about it.
You're not the first, you won't be the last. Somebody who has a deep relationship with the team that they're covering, letting "we" slip out every once in a while.
Every once in a while, I'm sure you say that.
Well, after the overturned call, Mitch Canham wants to gather his players, trying to keep the Beavers within 1 of the Tide. But Alabama has runners on the corners, 1 out. Hayden Steele due to the plate. Steele on an 0 for 3 night so far.
Well, we're going to find out if that error costs them. Overturned call. Steele's going to try to put a ball in play. 31 moves in play here. Step to third, go to first. No longer allowable in MLB, which I like.
Hutchinson comes to the plate. First pitch, a strike to Steele.
He dotted that slider, didn't he? Just got the outside corner.
Tap foul. 0-2.
You can really effectively pitch like that. He goes 79 on the outside with a slider, then runs a 2-seamer off the plate in at 88. If you can't do that, if you don't have movement, 88's just average.
Big pitch coming from Hutchinson. Lifted to right center. Talt will come on to make the play. Vaughn gets the tag. They'll go to second. Did they get the out before the run crossed? That run counts for Alabama, increasing the lead to 2.
Have a fantastic tournament. Play ball.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service fees.
Stay up to date with the Frisco College Baseball Classic all year round. Follow the tournament on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or X. The handle is Frisco Classic. Also visit friscoclassic.com for all the news and information about the tournament. You want to follow those social media pages and bookmark that website to get info on the 2027 field. Look forward to that announcement in the near future as Peak Events continues to bring 4 great teams into this venue every single season. We typically will have Nathan Wooldridge or Ryan Holloway on with us, Coach, on Sunday to close out the event. Ryan's in Vegas this year, so Nathan will get that duty. And we try to pry information from him about the next season's teams. But he's told me already, you're not going to get it from me. I'm a steel trap. Until all these contracts are signed, I'm not saying a word.
Well, I sure hope he can duplicate what he's done here this year with bringing in these quality clubs, man. It's been exciting. All clubs they're in here now, quality baseball teams, fun to watch, play exciting baseball.
So to end at the top of the 7th, let's recap that situation one more time as Vaughn was tagging from 3rd and Torres was standing at 1st. The throw from right after the flyout by Steele was cut off. Oregon State went to 2nd with it, and the umpire, Eddie Newsom, at home, ruled that Vaughn touched home plate just prior to the tag being laid down at Torres at 2nd. So the run counts. Bama now leads 7-5.
You know, I just can't get the coach out of me, Chris. I apologize for that, but I'm not certain why we give up outs on the bases when there's no play at the plate. I get it if you're trying to draw a cut and get hung up, but no play at the plate, no chance to throw him out at the plate, and basically surrendering out at second base. I've never understood that, but there's a lot of things I haven't understood.
Galloway grounds out to start the bottom of the 7th. We're past stretch time in Frisco. Now I was busy sorting out that last play to end the top of the 7th. I forgot to stretch. I did get stretched out by our friends at
Stretch Zone. Yeah, well, we need to send the bat boy Steve Crothers from Oregon State to Stretch Zone. He looks like he needs to get in there, get a little bit of stretch going, get him a little limber so he can get out there and get back a little quicker. That's the only thing they don't have a clock on yet. You see the pitch count in between innings. Well, I get one on the bat boy now.
Talt is 2 for 3. Doubled his last time up and came around to score. To the second baseman, Holtz. And on to Vaughn for the second out of the bottom of the 7th.
Played him nicely. Jumped over there in that 4 hole, knowing that Easton likes to pull the ball.
Here's Cooper Vance. RBI single last time we saw him.
Cooper's swinging the bat good this tournament.
Went 1 for 3 yesterday. Now 1 for 3 today. His Beavers trailing by 2. Matthew Heiberger has 2 innings of work to his credit already. He's thrown 21 pitches. Given up a run on 2 hits.
He's much sharper this inning than he was when he came in. And that goes back to them getting on the board, kind of changing that mo a little bit again and kind of even things out. Both clubs got a shot to win this game. It's going to be exciting down the run.
Into right field. Steele making a catch. 3 up and 3 down as Oregon State's top of the lineup all retired in order in the 7th. We're heading to the 8th in Frisco.
We have a beautiful hospital, a hospital that was designed not to look like a healthcare facility. It has a warm and welcoming environment for our guests and our patients that come in, but it's really what's inside that building that makes the biggest difference. We have a dedicated group of professionals here that have been going above and beyond for this community for the past 2 years since we've been open, and really have a passion for providing outstanding care in a warm and welcoming environment.
New pitcher for Oregon State is junior Wyatt Queen. Last used him on Sunday at the Round Rock Classic. Went 2 innings against Purdue, struck out 4 Boilermakers, walked none, surrendered a run, but it wasn't earned on 3 hits. 3rd appearance of the season for the young man from Marysville, Washington. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Alabama as Hines, Holt, and Fowler are due to the plate. Tide looking for some insurance, leading 7-5 over Oregon State. And if Alabama holds on to win this one, they will clinch the Frisco College Baseball Classic Championship with wins over Iowa and Oregon State. Of course, tomorrow, one of those teams could catch Bama at 2-1, but the Tide would win the head-to-head tiebreaker and claim the belt. Have you seen the prize? It's up for grabs.
Oh, I thought you said they were Speedos for 35 members of the team to jump in the lazy river. I have not seen the prize.
That'd be a good addition for next year. But the championship belt instead of the trophy. So you've got the WWE style big belt that's going to look great in one of these teams' locker rooms.
I could see how these young guys would love that. That belt might be running up and down the dugout for their home run. Every home run they hit, they got to do something exciting now. Maybe the belt becomes the prize after someone goes yard.
Well, Eric Hines had his first career homer back in the 4th, but he has been lifted now in favor of Justin Osterhaus, pinch hitter for Bama, junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I'll tell you, Oregon State really got a lot of mileage out of Queen last year. It was real good for them. So I know that they probably want to close with Robles if they get to that point.
Osterhaus watches that one go past. Tapped foul.
Just really impressed with college baseball this year, the number of teams that are 9-0, 10-1. And playing pretty good competition. A lot of times you can see that they're playing teams that are inferior, but a lot of good matchups early in the year.
We do owe you a look around the SEC from the D1Baseball.com scoreboard. Normally would do that from teams in both conferences as Osterhaus pinch hitting goes down swinging.
And you did say A&M and UCLA are hooking up here in just a few minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Mike Early got A&M off to a good start. Savage has been doing this for a long time. Always seems to have a good club. Real offensive this year compared to some of the other clubs.
That game's set to get underway in less than an hour. Bruins and Aggies down in Arlington. I was about to say, we normally would look at the scoreboards from both conferences of the teams involved in our games, but of course Oregon State is playing this year as a GDI.
Yes, Oregon State is guaranteed of one thing: they will have the best independent record in the country this year. As I believe they're the only independent team this year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So that was kind of a fun little note that started last year with Oregon State down at the Round Rock Classic and carried over to this season. It's now 1-2 against Holt. But Peak Events founder Ryan Holloway, instead of flying a Pac-12 flag next to Oregon State, that's through the middle. Diving for Vance, can't bring it in. Would have been an infield hit anyway for Holt. But out beyond the left field wall here in Frisco, and it's beyond the right field wall in Round Rock, Peak always flies the team flags next to their conference flags. So instead of putting a Pac-12 flag next to Oregon State, playing this independent schedule, Ryan had a flag made that says GDI, which I had to explain to my partner last week.
All right.
Gosh darn independent is the light way of saying it, the PG way for me to say it.
Okay, I like it. I thought you were going to tell me that was the gold index ETF.
I know their kids watching.
Yeah, you know, in Omaha they used to have all the flags of all the teams out in center field, and when you're eliminated they'd lower your flag. But that became, I guess, something that they didn't want to do anymore. So they don't do it anymore.
Top of the order for Alabama, it's Fowler. Check back to first of Holt. They had to have a new GDI flag printed for this year for Round Rock and for Frisco because Coach Canham and the kids liked it so much they wanted to take it back home to Oregon.
I like it.
Not sure where they have it hanging up in the clubhouse, but
it's so hard to get these types of matchups where you get an SEC team playing somebody from the West Coast. It's just really, it's fun to see. You know, we got it tonight, UCLA and A&M, and both those clubs are off to great starts. Talked about that before, but I'd love to see them have those conference challenges as they do in basketball. I think it would really help our sport. Just keeps getting better and better, the talent.
1-2.
Dotted.
And with that count, Oregon State will put a shift on. Vasquez moves behind second base. Nobody hanging out anywhere near that bag on the third base side. Final year of playing that GDI schedule for the Beavers. The Pac-12 will be fully rebuilt ahead of next season. 1-2 coming. Big swing and a miss. Second strikeout of this 8th inning.
Quality pitch. Man, location, movement.
Wyatt Queen with a pair of Ks. But now he faces the headliner in Alabama's lineup, Justin LeBron. Couple of hits for him tonight. And he has already cemented himself on the all-tournament team here in Frisco. RBI double and a grand slam yesterday. 2 more hits today. 1-0 pitch. Everybody up here in the press box will fill out their all-tournament team ballots tomorrow. They are due by the start of the 8th inning in Game 6.
I'm sure that these two teams will each have one individual that will be unanimous. Mr. Whitney and LeBron certainly will punch those tickets. 17 for 17, Alabama stolen bases this year, but not threatening in this game.
Here's the 1-1 to LeBron. A rocket to left field. Alabama will get another run on the board thanks to LeBron. Run scoring double. He's making a case for tournament MVP.
Wow, what a player. Fun to watch. Perfectly executed relay as well, just not enough time. That ball bounced around the corner down there. Oregon State was set up perfect. I think, you know, you got to attack LeBron firm to set up spin. You know, he's just so, the bat's so electric. Hard to get out no matter what you do. That young man's going to play for a long, long time.
Now Neal will check back to LeBron at second base. And I say making a case, Coach, but I think you can almost cement LeBron right now, barring a comeback from Oregon State here today. If Bama wins this game, they clinch the Classic Championship. He's your most valuable player.
If all that happens, I think you're spot on. But we've seen a lot of things happen in this game of baseball.
Oh yeah.
Can't take a knee. You can't get your best shooter to the last shot. You got to get the 27th out.
Neal had a 2-run homer back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3. And facing an 0-2 count against Wyatt Queen.
Wow, good pitch.
Wyatt Queen says, "Don't stop me now." 3 strikeouts for him here in the 8th, but he does allow a run-scoring double by LeBron. Tied increases the lead to 8-5. This is D1 Baseball's exclusive coverage of the Frisco College Baseball Classic. Chris Mykowski alongside Pat Casey. And we've seen the greatness of Justin LeBron on display in several different ways. Made one of the best defensive plays that we've seen this weekend. A great job at shortstop, as he always does. And then what he does with the bat. We hear a lot, we watch a lot of clips of him, see him on TV quite a bit, but seeing him in person for 2 days, what's the biggest takeaway?
Wow, impressive. He can do it all. Really impressive.
LeBron, the number 2 prospects among collegiate players in this upcoming draft, according to D1 Baseball. Like Coach said, he has a long career in the game ahead of him, and we are lucky enough to have him here in Frisco this weekend. Between him and Whitney, these are 2 players that we're going to be talking about, bragging about, that we saw, that we got to work games with them. It's just special young men.
Yeah, you know, seeing LeBron live is not like seeing him on TV, that's for sure.
Glasgow for Oregon State. Came in as a pinch hitter for Hubbard and delivered a single.
He sure did. Ran one in the 4-hole. Now he's got himself in a nice hitter's count here. Should get a good pitch to hit. Impressed with the fact that Alabama didn't break there when they gave up 5 runs.
Beavers only have 6 outs left to work with. If Oregon State can come back and win this one, then the title is very much up for grabs in the Classic tomorrow. Still 3 teams would be in the hunt. Of course, the Beavers would go in 2-0, but both Iowa and Alabama could get to 2-1, and we've done it before in these Classics where you have to add up runs. Glasgow watches that one pass, thought he had a walk. Instead, it's a strikeout.
95 on the hands, and that pitch is a strike. We've got the little computer up here, cheaters, so that we get to make everybody out there in TV land think we're real good. Dotted.
Right on the edge of the zone. Strike 3 to Glasgow. Matthew Heiberger with his first K in 2 2/3.
You can't continually pitch behind hitters and not expect to get hurt. So Heiberger's been behind. Yeah, he's got to find his rhythm here. Made a nice pitch to strike out Glasgow.
Missing inside. Coach Cam describing Singer as his glue guy, his coach on the field.
Yeah, they were excited to get him back, that's for sure. He had a chance to go play professionally, decide to come back, spend another year with the Beavers.
Adam Pates will have a shot with his team down by 3. The first mound visit for Bama, as Jason Jackson makes the trek out to the hill. Two more coming up tomorrow here from Frisco as we wrap up the 10th annual Frisco College Baseball Classic. Oregon State will have the quick turnaround after playing tonight's game. 11 a.m. Central against Iowa. And Bama will have the finale of the tournament against Houston. That's at 3 o'clock Central Time. Both games right here on D1Baseball.com. We'll tell you about the new pitcher next.
From the front row to the upper level. From epic concerts to heart-stopping games. Tickets for Less puts you where the action is. Experience the thrill of live events like never before. Every seat holds a story. Find yours at ticketsforless.com and never pay service.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Choose from over 100 affordable degree and certificate programs that fit your budget and schedule. Earn the same degree as you would on campus, with the same affordable tuition rate for every state. UA Online. Advance your career and change your life. Get started today at online.ua.edu.
New pitcher for Alabama is Caden Humphrey, the North Florida transfer. Big stuff, and somebody the Tide thinks could take on the closer role as the season progresses.
He's only pitched 1 inning. I don't know how deep their bullpen is, but I'm certain they're bringing in their high leverage guys now.
All-conference player for North Florida last year. Was on the Stopper of the Year midseason watch list there at UNF. Started his college career at Stetson. Adam Hates is the first man he'll see. Last time Hates stepped in, he provided a home run in the 6th.
Yeah, he appears to be locked in pretty good.
Missing away. Eight waiting on the 1-0. Steele coming on. Second out. Well, of course, replacing Carson Osmer for Alabama is a massive challenge. They do have a very talented bullpen. Caden Humphrey, top of the list, perhaps, coming into the year as a man who would take his spot. But Heiberger, who we just saw, also could be a contender for that role.
You know, Oregon State having to make those moves left on right there. Had to take some of those left-handed bats out of the lineup, which worked. It was a great move. And now Alabama has a little bit of an advantage there with the fact they can get back on the right side here.
Missing away, 1-1 to Porter, who replaced Craig in the Oregon State lineup in the 7th spot. Oh for 2 with a fly out to center in the 5th and a ground out to short in the 6th. 1-1 to Holt, flipping it to LeBron for out number 3. Alabama up by 3 as we head to the 9th inning in Frisco. The Tide can clinch a Frisco Classic championship tonight.
Texas Health Hospital Frisco is proud to once again sponsor the Frisco College Baseball Classic. This is a special year as it's the 10th year for this tournament here in Frisco. We are so excited to welcome those of you who are new to our area and those of you who live here but are out for a great baseball tournament. We are proud to be community partners with this organization and hope that you enjoy the weather and the rest of this weekend.
Have a fantastic tournament. Play ball.
Ninth inning at the Frisco College Baseball Classic. Chris Mykoski with Pat Casey. Peyton Reed running our team behind the scenes at Riders Field in Frisco, Texas. Alabama leading 8-5 over Oregon State. And per usual, Coach, the Saturday primetime matchup is maybe the most marquee of the 6 that we get over the weekend. These two high-power, highly respected programs under the lights on Saturday night in one of the best ballparks in minor league baseball.
It's an honor to be here and watch two great programs, great coaches, great coaching staffs, good young players. When I see Mitch giving these guys this opportunity, these young players, I remember back to some of those young guys wanting to get in the lineup and giving them those opportunities, and see them have success is a big part of what happens late in the season.
Alabama has Vaughn, Lem, and Torres due to the plate. We're in the top of the ninth.
I had one of those stories when those young kids came in and asked me why he wasn't playing every day, and I said, that's what I want to know. I think you should be playing every day. And I won't mention his name, but he went on to be a big league player and is a big league player. One of my favorite guys. I'll tell you what, he seized that opportunity after that and never gave in.
We may not have time to go around the full SEC scoreboard from D1Baseball.com, but I'll point out some of the notables. Arkansas lost to UT Arlington yesterday, 9-0, as this goes into right field off the bat of Vaughn. A leadoff single for the tied first baseman. He has a pair of base knocks tonight. The Razorbacks came back today and took down the Mavericks 9-0.
I'll tell you, in this situation, if you've got a real good bunter on the bench and you're not losing a defensive position, great time to bring in somebody to get a guy in scoring position and try to get to that magical 4 number, which Grand Slam has to tie you.
Change for Bama as Will Plattner will enter, taking place of John Lem. Plattner, the redshirt junior, formerly of Ole Miss. Swings to the first pitch that he sees McQueen.
Good coach down there at Ole Miss as well, Mike Bianca. National championship.
And they are now 10-1 on the year after beating Ohio State today. Ole Miss 8, Buckeyes nothing down at the Astros ballpark.
Good for him. I think that state of Mississippi went back-to-back. Mississippi one year, Mississippi State the next.
Other SEC scores of note down at the Classic in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field. Tennessee beats Arizona State 5-3.
Willie Bloomcrest running the Arizona State program now, former big leaguer for the Mariners and a couple other teams.
And a future conference mate of Oregon State, losing to a current conference mate of Alabama as Plattner goes down swinging his pinch hit attempt. Oklahoma beat Gonzaga today 11-1 in Norman.
So Skip's got it going pretty good. Does that make them 10-1?
Yes, it does. They are looking very good, and they will be here in Frisco for a midweek game against Texas Tech in about 6 weeks.
Tim Tadlock bringing in the Texas Tech boys. They're always competitive at the plate. He had it going on pretty good there. They were in the World Series with us, I think, in 17. Other side of the bracket.
Looking forward to that one. That's April 28th, so 8 weeks away. Sooners and Red Raiders right here at Riders Field for a Tuesday night game.
That NIL money has changed Texas Tech in a lot of sports in a hurry, hasn't it?
I've been fortunate to broadcast a few of their softball games, and NIL has really transformed that program.
Yeah. Well, you got $1 million arm on the mound from Stanford. She took him to the championship game against the University of Texas.
Yeah, Nigel Kennedy. The man at the plate right now is Jason Torres. He unleashed a home run in the third. Part of a 3-run frame for the Tide. He lifts this one. It won't escape the infield. 2 down for Alabama in the 9th. Bottom of the 9th at Globe Life Field, and Mississippi State is going to get to 11-0 on the year. Bulldogs lead Virginia Tech 15-8.
Wow. Brian O'Connor got it going in Mississippi State. What a ballpark. It is Stark Vegas.
So that'll push back the start of the final game of the day in Arlington, UCLA and Texas A&M. Texas is playing Baylor tonight, another notable SEC game on the scoreboard. Longhorns are 9-0. We saw Baylor last weekend at the Round Rock Classic here on D1Baseball.com. Steele whiffs at that pitch, now 1-1.
The Baylor Bears, they eliminated us in 2005 in the College World Series. Steve Smith's club.
Here's the 1-1. Catching the inside corner, according to Eddie Newsom.
Eddie kind of missed that one. A little bit off, but he's been doing a fantastic job tonight.
Steele is 0 for 4. Gets the golden sombrero. An 0 for 5 nights for Peyton Steele, but he will not care if his team gets a win. Tide 8, Beavers 5, heading to the bottom of the 9th. On to close for Alabama is Hagan Banks. This will be his second appearance on the year against Samford back on February 17th. Went 2 innings, scoreless baseball, allowing 2 hits, and he struck out 5 Bulldogs and earned the save. Alabama leads 8-5 over Oregon State. Our Saturday primetime affair at the Frisco College Baseball Classic. If Alabama holds on to win this one with wins over Iowa and Oregon State, the Crimson Tide would clinch the Frisco College Baseball Championship belt. And the Tide has put on a power-hitting display tonight, and combined between these teams, Coach, Alabama has 3 home runs, Oregon State has 2. That is the second most home runs in a single game in the Classic's 10-year history. The only game that's had more also involved Alabama, as DBU and Bama combined for 6 home runs in 2024.
Well, I'm glad I'm here to see the 5, that's for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens here with Banks. We got a game here. I know it seems like sometimes when you're down 3 runs in the 9th, it's insurmountable, but it is not. It can happen.
Tyler Inge will take the place of Vasquez to begin the 9th for Oregon State. That DBU Alabama game back in 2024 was an extra inning affair. The last game of the Classic on Sunday night. Patriots won that one in extra frames to claim the Classic championship.
Well, I'll tell you, this is really a first-class tournament. Everything about it, how it's run, the players, the team, the coaches, the accessibility to them. Beautiful ballpark.
We've loved having you here. Wish you could be with us all weekend long. But Jack DeLongchamp will do his best to fill your seat tomorrow. 0-2 into center field. The Beavers start this 9th inning with a base knock.
Oh, 2 strikes. You certainly don't want him to throw the ball on the inner half. 0-2.
It leads to Josh Proctor.
And we've seen what kind of damage this guy can do.
Yep. 431-foot shot in the 5th. Part of a 4-run frame for the Beavers. It's been a big night for freshmen. Proctor adds to his big Saturday evening in Frisco. A pair of singles for the Beavers in the 9th.
Good piece of hitting. Giving up 2 hits on 2 fastballs.
Back to the top of the Beaver order, and Jacob Galloway.
Now you got a guy that can tie this thing up with 1 swing.
2 men on, nobody out for Oregon State, trailing by 3. The toughest out in Oregon State's lineup.
Well, he's got back-to-back guys he's going to have to handle. Easton Talt's on deck, right on left. Appears that he's trying to get you out with fastballs.
Just missing that.
There's an off-speed pitch.
Coach Mitch Canham moving Galloway to the top of the order. Wants him to set the tone, get him as many at-bats as possible.
Hitting 400 coming into the game. Good move.
0-2 pitch on the way. Did it hit him? It did. Bases full of Beavers. Nobody out, and a potential game-winning run will step to the plate.
There's 2 hitters he's had 0 and 2 and have both reached base. That's not a good indicator.
Rob Vaughn needs an explanation here from Eddie Newsom. We'll take another look at it. As it appears to just graze that pad, and immediately Galloway pointed it out and made his way to first. And we will get an official review. Oh, 0-2 pitch. If it hit him, it was just barely tagging that equipment. If he didn't have a pad on that arm, that's probably sailing into the glove of Neal. That slight bit of misdirection they're looking for. A redirection.
Either that or he was talking about the fact.
We are looking at exactly what Joseph Smith and Eddie Newsom are looking at the official review monitor that is stationed next to the first base dugout.
He sure acted like it hit him. It's hard to tell. They might be talking about did he stick his arm out there.
I don't see an extension of
No,
that
he doesn't appear to do that.
right arm. I think he's just holding his ground. If anything else, he slightly tucks it back. He's definitely not extended.
No, I'm just thinking maybe Coach Vaughn was thinking that maybe that's what. I don't know what he was challenging. It appeared that the ball kind of glanced off there. It's awful close. There's not a lot of misdirection of the ball, but 92 miles an hour. Home plate umpire's probably not inclined to change his own call.
Here comes the call as Eddie Newsom and Joseph Smith emerge. They will award him first base. Ball stands. Bases loaded for Oregon State. Inge at third. Proctor at second. Galloway at first. And Easton Talt, who came into the night, tied for the team lead with 6 runs batted in. And this one is 2 for 4. Will be the next man to the plate. After the review, Jason Jackson will want to talk with Mr. Banks, Mr. Neal, and the Bama infielders.
This is a tough position for Coach Vaughn because you got a left-hander in the pen, but after Easton, then it flips to right. But this guy can end the game right here. Outfielders are playing extremely shallow for the tying run being at first base.
Easton Talt with 8 home runs a year ago. None so far this season. This would be one heck of a time to get #1 for 2026.
If you were an Oregon State fan, it'd be a tremendous time. If you were a Crimson Tide fan, it wouldn't be so good.
Most recent one came in the College World Series.
You know, Oregon State's
Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Oregon State's really proven they can hit the fastball, and they continue to try to power them. I don't know how good Banks' secondary stuff is, but
Oregon State fans getting loud in Frisco. Talt, first pitch onto the concourse.
First baseman's kind of in no man's land there. I think he's thinking maybe he might try to push if he's not somewhere around there, but he's certainly not thinking about going to the plate, I wouldn't think. With a 3-run lead, you'd think he'd be playing for 2.
Here's the 0-1. Now 0-2 to Talt. Produced an RBI on a double back in the 5th. Also came around to score. Beavers played at 4 in that frame.
If he has a change, now's the time to throw it out of the zone.
Banks. Still bringing heat, but outside.
Yeah, fastball off the plate. Maybe setting up that change or slider.
One, two with the bases full, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th. Banks to Talt. Talt lifts it to left. It's shallow. Osterhaus coming on, watches it bounce. Scores 1 for the Beavers. Oregon State within 2.
0-2, 1-2. Every hitter.
Second run batted in of the night for Easton Talt. Bases still loaded for Oregon State with nobody out in the 9th. Talt standing at first. He would be the game-winning run.
What a game. Wow. We'll find out what Alabama's going to find out what Banks has got here.
Cooper Vance. First pitch to him. Nubbed off the bat. On the count to Vance. To the shortstop, LeBron bobbles it. One of the best defensive players in college baseball with an error in the bottom of the 9th.
A routine ground ball. Wow. But I'll tell you, Banks doesn't have swing and miss stuff where I thought Humphrey, wow, he was pretty electric there.
Unbelievable.
Like I said for the inning, we have a game here.
1-run game as Glasgow steps in. Bases loaded, nobody out. Glasgow into left. Steele comes down with it. The runner coming home to tie the game. No!
Wow. Wow.
Gunned down by Peyton Steele.
Wow. I think Oregon State's out of challenges, aren't they? Apparently not.
Galloway got the go sign, and Peyton Steele delivers a dart.
Wow, he's safe. He looked safe. A lot of dust there, hard to tell. I thought that Oregon State was out of challenges. Apparently you get more than 2.
Somebody's going to have to explain that to me, Coach. You know a lot more about this game than I do.
I don't know how many challenges you get in college baseball. I don't know how many. We didn't have any challenges when I was coaching.
Sure.
So I don't know how many outs.
Amazing just how this inning has shaped up as what looked to be a sure double play ball to LeBron was misplayed. And then Jacob Galloway, the catcher for Oregon State, is told to come home on a tag. And according to Larry Little, who is our official scorekeeper, he said each team had 1 remaining coming into this inning.
Got it. So you must have 3. Because Oregon State, I believe, challenged twice and was overturned on both of them. So you must have 3, or I don't know. I never thought I would know the day where game would be decided on getting to look at it again. You know what I mean?
Continue to look at every angle possible provided by our crew. That's from the camera just inside the Alabama dugout. This is from the Oregon State dugout side.
Regardless,
a little bit more elevation. This is a little hard to tell.
Regardless, what a throw.
Yeah. Laser coming in from Steele. Eddie Newsom, Joseph Smith. Had a monitor set up in a well just next to the Alabama dugout on first base side.
Wow. We talked about that before. Every time we come to the yard, we see something that we say, I haven't seen that before. Now, if it is not overturned, you think about the boot by LeBron. And you said this before the inning. If Steele wins the game, he'll be okay with the 5 outs. 0 for 5.
Here comes Eddie Newsom. Out is the call. Great point there, Coach. Peyton Steele 0 for 5 at the plate. But he has the biggest play on defense all night long. Gunning Jacob Galloway down at the plate. And this remains a 1-run game and 2 outs on the scoreboard.
Now they're going to walk Singer here to pitch to Haight. So Coach Vaughn must want to set up the force.
Well, Adam Haight had a 2-run homer in the 6th. So pick your poison.
Yeah, Singer's hitting 152 coming in. Haight's hitting 275 coming in. They're both tough outs. I think he wants to set up the force.
So it'll lead to Haight.
But Banks is just having a hard time staying away from barrels. So we'll see. This is what it's all about right here for both teams. I'm not thinking that they're going to drag here. The third baseman's playing awful tight.
First home run of the season for Haight. Came back in the 6th. To the shortstop, LeBron. Again misplaying it, but able to flip it to second. And Bama wins the Frisco Classic.
Wow. Wow. I don't know if we could see a more exciting game, Chris. Wow. I got to start doing this more often, I guess. What the heck?
LeBron with the little bobble, but sticks with the ball, flips with his glove for the final out of the game. Tied, win, and clinch the championship in Frisco.
Congratulations to Alabama.
A lot of different plays we could choose from as our play of the game. We'll go with Brady Neal's 2-run homer in the third. Part of a 3-run frame for the Tide is presented by University of Alabama Online. 370 feet off the bat as the wind helped carry this one beyond the wall. In the 8-7 win for Alabama, the player of the game presented by University of Alabama Online is Justin LeBron. A pair of singles and then an RBI double in the 8th. And on defense, coming up with a gem earlier in this contest and another one. The perseverance, coach, that's what it is. You misplay initially, but if you stick with it, good things happen.
No doubt, no doubt. And he's a big-time player. And both teams, man, I'll tell you what Oregon State came back. Alabama held serve after they came back. Fantastic ball game.
Alabama 8, Oregon State 7, a Saturday night classic at Riders Field in Frisco, Texas. Great fun working with the legend, Pat Casey. My name's Chris Mykoski. Ken Jones, Peyton Reed leading our team behind the scenes. We hope you'll join us again. 2 more games tomorrow at the Frisco College Baseball Classic, and the only place to see them is on d1baseball.com. For now, good night from Sports City, USA.